Dear soul, I know that on many nights the silence around you seems deafening, and doubt tries to set in within your kind heart. You ask yourself incessantly if this special person still keeps you in their thoughts, or if time and distance have erased the marks that love left behind. Today, the angels bring a revelation that will make your chest vibrate with a new hope and an unshakable certainty. The celestial message is clear and direct for your current situation. For this person, in the depths of his heart, you are already the chosen one. You already belong to him, and the spot you occupy in his life, no one else can fill. However, there is a blockage, an invisible barrier that you still sustain without realizing, which prevents this love from blossoming fully in the physical world. It is natural to feel insecurity when the eyes do not see concrete proof of what intuition screams. But know this, dear soul, it is not by chance that you are hearing these words at this exact moment. The beings of light guided your hand and your attention here because the time has come to unravel this mystery and dissolve the locks that prevent your happiness. Heaven observes your hidden tears and your silent prayers, and the answer arrives now as a healing balm and direction. You are being invited to align your energy with the certainty that this love already exists in the higher planes and only awaits your internal permission to descend into reality. Before we delve deeper into this sacred guidance that the angels have prepared with such care, I invite you to make a spiritual commitment to your own romantic destiny. Subscribe to this channel right now. By doing so, you not only follow our content, but create a virtual altar of connection where you will receive daily directions to nourish your faith and protect your feelings. Your subscription is the first step in telling the universe that you are attentive and willing to listen to the voice of the heavens. I also ask you to hit the like button on this video. This simple gesture is powerful, as it functions as a visual prayer, an affirmation that you are open and receptive to receiving the blessings that are on the way. By liking, you move the energy of gratitude and attract to yourself the vibration of requited love. And do not keep this light only for yourself. Share this message with someone you trust, for the spiritual law is infallible. Everything we offer to the world returns multiplied to us. By spreading hope of a reunion or true love, you plant seeds that will bear sweet fruit in your own life. To seal your presence here and open the portals of reception, go to the comments and write the following power phrase: "The angels guide my love to my arms." By typing these words, you materialize your intention and give permission for the light workers to act in your favor, removing obstacles and bringing closer the hearts that were born to beat in the same rhythm. Take a deep breath now, dear soul, and feel a wave of tranquility run through your entire body. Cast aside the worries of the day and the anguish of the past. What the angels have to tell you today about how this person sees you and what is still missing for the big moment is something transformative. Be attentive, be receptive, and above all, be a believer that the best is yet to come. Let us begin this blessed reading that was written in the stars, especially for your heart. Dear soul, may the peace of the heavens envelop your heart at this exact instant and bring the serenity you seek so much. I know the last few days haven't been easy, and that uncertainty, often, tries to take up residence in your thoughts. You look at the silence and feel a void, but I am here to bring you a greater truth, a revelation that your physical eyes cannot see, but that your spirit already senses. There is movement happening behind the scenes of your life, something woven by the hands of the angels who guard your effective destiny. You might think you are alone in this weight, but the spiritual reality is very different from what the coldness of distance appears to be. Today, the celestial messengers bring a powerful confirmation to your afflicted heart. The theme I bring is profound and touches the root of your anxiety. For this specific person, at the level of the soul and heart, you already belong to them. The tie is established. The soul contract is signed in the stars. However, here on the earthly plane, you still await the concretization of this feeling, and it is natural that doubt arises. But know, dear soul, that physical separation is only a temporary illusion. The angels show me that there are angelic signs being sent at every moment to prove to you that the bond has not broken. Quite the contrary, it is more alive and pulsating than ever. Imagine, dear soul, two musical instruments perfectly tuned to the same note. Even if they are in different rooms, when a string is plucked on one of them, the other vibrates at the same frequency, emitting a soft sound, almost imperceptible, but real. This is the perfect metaphor for what is happening between you and him now. You are these instruments tuned by destiny. When you feel a sudden wave of longing, it is not just your mind creating fantasies. It is the resonance of his vibration reaching you. It is the proof that, at that exact moment, his energy is seeking yours. This is the true telepathic connection that ignores kilometers and barriers. Often you catch yourself asking the universe, in your sleepless nights, if he thinks of me the same way I think of him. The answer the heavens send now is a resounding yes, he thinks. And they are not common or fleeting thoughts. They are thoughts laden with a nostalgia that he perhaps doesn't even fully understand, but which drives him to seek memories of you, old photos, or even places where you were together. His mind travels to you, guided by a greater force, and this generates in your life what we call amorous synchronicity. Have you noticed these synchronicities? Perhaps you look at the clock and see mirror hours, like 11:11 or 22:22. Or perhaps a song starts playing on the radio, that specific song that speaks everything you would like to hear from his mouth. Know that this is not coincidence. It is a clear message from the universe, orchestrated by the angels, to tell you that the communication channel between your souls is open and active. When you see his name in unusual places, or feel his scent brought by the wind, understand that it is his energy trying to shorten the distance. It is important that you, dear soul, be attentive and receptive. Often, the pain of absence creates a fog that prevents us from seeing these small daily miracles. The celestial plan works in silence, stitching up the torn edges, planting seeds of reconciliation in his dreams. Yes, he has been dreaming of you. The angels of love visit his sleep to rekindle the flame, showing your face, your smile, and the peace he only found by your side. Upon waking, he feels a tightness in his chest, a sensation that something fundamental is missing, and that something is your presence. This sensation that you are already his, but still do not see the materialization of it, is the most refined test of faith that exists. It is the moment to trust that what is yours cannot be lost. The spiritual structure of this love is solid, like an ancient rock. Storms may wet the surface, but they do not shake the foundation. What you feel deep inside, that inexplicable certainty that it isn't over, is your intuition capturing the truth. Your intuition is the voice of the angels breathing certainties, where human logic only sees doubts. Therefore, calm down. Take a deep breath and feel the air fill your lungs with the light of hope. There is no reason for despair when one understands that the angel's timing is perfect. Everything is moving towards alignment. Every time you send love and light towards him, instead of anxiety and demand, you strengthen this invisible bridge. You clear the path so that he can return. Understand every sudden shiver, every warmth in the heart, and every vivid dream as a love letter that his soul writes to yours, using the silent language of energy. You are blessed and protected, and this love is being looked after by hands much greater than ours. Stand firm, for the signs are everywhere. One only needs eyes to see and a heart to feel. Dear soul, I feel the weight your heart carries today. I know there is an empty space by your side that no other presence can fill. The angels ask me to speak with you now about this silent pain that is longing, that bittersweet feeling of loving someone who is not within the reach of your touch. I understand that often you look at the horizon or at the cold screen of a device and feel a pang in your chest, questioning if this physical distance is a sign of being forgotten or an insurmountable obstacle. Calm your interior, for the message I bring from the celestial realms is one of comfort and certainty. Geographical separation is merely an illusion for those who love with the depth that you love. In the spiritual plane, there are no kilometers, there are no borders, and there is no time. For this person, you are already theirs, and they are already yours, even if the physical bodies still need to traverse a path to find each other. I want you to visualize now an image that the beings of light show me. Imagine two ancient and majestic trees, planted on opposite banks of a very wide river. Whoever looks from above sees only the water running between them, separating their trunks. It seems they are alone, isolated on their own sides. However, beneath the earth, in the depths of the sacred soil, the roots of these trees grew with strength and determination. They plunged beneath the riverbed, crossed the darkness and the dampness until they met. Deep down there, where no one sees, these roots are intertwined in an eternal and unbreakable embrace. They drink from the same source of life and sustain one another. Such is your connection with this special person, dear soul. The distance you see with your physical eyes is like the river. It seems real, it seems to separate, but it is only a surface circumstance. At the soul level, your roots and this person's roots are deeply united. Nothing that happens in the material world can cut this tie. When you feel a sudden sadness or warmth in your chest without explanation, know that it is his soul communicating with yours through these invisible roots. True love overcomes any concrete barrier or ocean. The angels unveil that this moment of being apart is not a punishment. On the contrary, it is a period of strengthening. It is in the silence of the waiting that the certainty of love is tested and purified. If the feeling were fragile, distance would snuff it out, like the wind snuffs out a candle. But since what you have is a blazing bonfire, the wind of distance only makes the flames grow higher and stronger. This person misses you as much as you miss them. In moments of quietness, before sleeping, their thought travels kilometers in a second, just to rest by your side. You meet in dreams, on the ethereal plane, where hands touch and gazes meet without impediments. Do not allow anxiety to steal your peace. The universe conspires in favor of meetings that are already written in the stars. Each day that passes is not one more day of suffering, but one day less until the reunion. Geography does not rule the heart. The map has no authority over destiny. Keep your vibration high and confident. Look after yourself. Nourish your inner garden, for when this person arrives, and they will arrive, you will be ready, whole, and radiant to receive them. The physical embrace will be merely the confirmation of the embrace your souls already exchange every day. Believe that the angels are working behind the scenes to align the roads and shorten the paths. Have patience with time, for it is a wise master that ripens the fruit before the harvest. Do not doubt, not for a second, that the love which overcomes distance is the love that lasts forever. Take a deep breath and feel his presence now, for in the realm of the spirit, you have never been apart. To seal this trust in the power of spiritual union and ask the heavens to shorten the wait, write this affirmation of faith and power in the comments now. Love unites what distance separates, and our souls have already met. Dear soul, calm your restless heart in this instant. I know that the intensity of what you feel now can confuse your mind and blur your vision. Often, we confuse a gale with true love just because it takes our breath away and makes the ground shake. The angels ask you to pay close attention now, as not everything that shines with intensity is gold for your sentimental life. A deep wisdom is needed to distinguish who comes to teach a fleeting lesson and who comes to stay and build a home by your side. Imagine, dear soul, that your heart is a vast and deep ocean. There are boats that pass through your waters only to create giant waves, agitate the surface, and churn up the sand from the bottom, bringing to the surface what was hidden and needed to be seen. These are relational karmas. They arrive with force, cause sudden storms but possess no anchor. Their purpose is to clean your emotional bottom, but not to remain anchored in your safe harbor. You might feel a magnetic attraction, almost uncontrollable, but this does not mean it is the eternal tie. It is merely the recognition of an ancient, unresolved matter that needs to be resolved. The celestial beings explain that there is a great difference between soulmate versus twin flame, and knowing this will prevent many unnecessary tears. The twin flame is like a mirror of fire. It reflects exactly who you are, including your shadows and your most hidden fears. The meeting is explosive and turns everything around into ashes so that something new may be born. However, it is not always a path of immediate peace. The function of the twin flame is to propel your spiritual evolution in an accelerated way, often through separation and pain. It is a love that burns to purify. If it hurts too much, if there are constant comings and goings, if anguish surpasses tranquility, the angels say that this could be the sign of a mirror of growth, and not necessarily the companion of a serene life that you seek now. On the other hand, recognizing a soulmate brings a completely distinct and healing sensation. Dear soul, think of the feeling of arriving home after a long and exhausting trip, taking off your shoes, and feeling the firm and welcoming floor beneath your feet. The soulmate is this comfort. It is the spiritual connection that does not require you to break yourself into pieces to fit into the other's life. It is the gentle fit, perfect and smooth. Unlike the mirror that burns, the soulmate is the fresh water that nourishes the dry earth. In this type of union, silence is not awkward, and conversation happens naturally, without any effort. You do not need to prove your worth at every instant, for the other person sees your light with clarity and love. Perhaps you are attached to someone at this moment because the passion is overwhelming, believing that suffering is a proof of love or a test of endurance. Heaven asks that you release this limiting belief right now. Sacred love does not hurt, it heals. There are also companion souls, spiritual friends who cross your path to support in specific moments, bringing joy and lightness without the romantic weight or the karmic load. It is vital to know how to identify each of these types of souls so that you do not hand over your most precious treasure to someone who came only to pass a brief lesson. Dear soul, understanding the relational purpose of who is in your life today is the master key to your emotional freedom. If you insist on turning a karma into a husband, you will find only resistance and pain. If you try to make a twin flame something lukewarm and predictable, you will become frustrated with the intensity and chaos. Accept the role of each one with gratitude and detachment. The person whom the celestial messengers prepared for you, the one who feels in their own skin that you already belong to them by destiny, will bring the soulmate signs clearly and unequivocally. There will be no torturous doubts that keep you awake, only the tranquil certainty of two rivers that meet to follow in the same direction, without colliding against the rocks. Allow higher wisdom to guide your eyes and your feeling. Look at the person in question and ask your deepest self, do they bring me peace or a storm? Do they make me feel safe or anxious? The answer will unveil the true nature of this spiritual connection. By aligning your expectations with the reality of the bond, you stop fighting against the current and allow the true meeting to happen at the right time. You, dear soul, deserve the love that stays, the love that builds bridges and the love that calms the storm. Be attentive, for true recognition happens in the silence of your intuition, far away from the noise of the ego and the fear of loneliness. Dear soul, the heavens bring today a revelation about the depth of the tie that unites you to this special person. There is an enchanting mystery that happens behind the scenes of the visible world, an exchange of energies that ignores distances and silences. For this person, at the deepest level of being, you already belong to them, and their spirit cries out for yours at every instant. However, you may still be learning to decipher the signs of this silent communication, and it is exactly about this that the angels wish to instruct your heart now. We are talking about the telepathic connection, a real and sacred phenomenon that occurs between two essences that were designed to meet. Know, dear soul, that thought is living and vibrant energy. When there is true love and a connection of souls, this energy creates an indestructible bridge. Imagine, to understand better, two string musical instruments perfectly tuned to the same note, placed on opposite sides of a large room. When a string is plucked on one of the instruments, the corresponding string on the other instrument begins to vibrate on its own, emitting sound, even without having been touched by human hands. This is called resonance. It is the perfect metaphor for what happens between you and him. When he feels a strong emotion for you, your heart vibrates in response, wherever you are. This loving telepathy presents itself in subtle but powerful forms. Perhaps you have already experienced moments where, without any logical reason, you felt a comforting warmth in the center of your chest, a sudden joy that drew a smile on your face, or even a familiar smell when no one was around. The angels confirm that this is not your imagination. It is his energetic presence visiting yours. It is the proof that he is thinking of you with intensity and affection. This communication of souls is the language love uses when words are not sufficient, or when physical presence is not yet possible. Often, dear soul, you may wake up in the middle of the night with his image clear in your mind, or feel a sudden need to send a message just at the second he picked up the phone to see a photo of you. These synchronicities are not coincidences. They are clear evidence that you inhabit each other's mind and spirit. For him, this connection is an absolute certainty. He feels that you are part of him. The challenge now is for you to trust fully in these telepathic signs, validating what your intuition has already been telling you for a long time. Understand that sensing the loved one at a distance is a gift that must be welcomed with gratitude. When a sudden sadness strikes you without reason, it could be that he is needing emotional support, and your soul, always attentive, captures this silent cry for help. Likewise, when a wave of confidence and power floods you, it is him sending admiration and pride for who you are. You function as communicating vessels, where the feeling of one spills over and fills the other, maintaining the equilibrium of this sacred tie. The angels ask that you pay attention to the moments of silence. It is in them that the voice of this connection becomes more audible. Do not doubt the veracity of what you feel. The material world may present barriers, but in the spiritual plane, where love truly resides, there are no walls. You are intertwined by threads of golden light that never break. He knows this, feels this, and shortly, the confirmations in the physical world will reflect this reality that your soul already knows. Dear soul, I invite you now to close your eyes for a brief instant and search your recent memory. Recall if there was a moment in the last few days where you felt his presence so strong that it seemed he was by your side. Reflect on how your body reacted and if, in that instant, you had the certainty that you were loved. This is your personal validation. Keep this sensation like a treasure and a promise of what is to come. Dear soul, receive now the warm and comforting embrace that descends from the high celestial spheres to calm your restless heart. I know that uncertainty often hangs over your thoughts like a dense fog, preventing your vision from reaching the truth that shines just ahead. The angels, in their infinite wisdom and vigilance, observe not only the words uttered by human lips, but sound the depths of hearts, where true intentions reside, far from any mask or social disguise. It is with this privileged and protective vision that I bring you a message of absolute clarity about who occupies your feelings at this moment. Know, dear soul, that for this special person, the connection with you has already surpassed the barrier of doubt. In the silence of their being, there is a certainty that perhaps you have not yet managed to perceive completely. For them, you are already an essential part of existence, as if an invisible and indestructible tie had already been tied between your essences. The way this person sees you is not fleeting or superficial. Their interest is not a flickering flame that shines for an instant and soon goes out at the first wind of difficulty. On the contrary, the messengers of light unveil that there is a solid foundation being built in their intentions, a genuine desire for permanence and building together. However, the angels also see what is happening in your interior. You still hesitate. There exists in you an understandable apprehension, born of ancient wounds that still throb when the weather changes. You still walk with caution, as if stepping on fragile ground, fearing that surrender might result in new pain. It is natural to protect your inner castle with high walls, but the message today is to bring you the security that it is time to lower your guard, for what approaches is real and blessed by the forces of good. This person already considers you theirs in the noblest sense of the word, not as a possession, but as a predestined meeting of two souls who recognize each other in the middle of the crowd. Celestial protection is active over this union. The illusions that frighten you so much have no place here. What the angels ask is that you observe the signs of consistency. Note how this person makes themselves present, how they seek your well-being, and how their gaze transmits a peace that the world out there cannot offer. The confusion you feel does not come from the other's attitude, but rather from your own fear of believing that happiness is possible and deserved. You are worthy of a love that leaves no doubts, and it is exactly this that is being offered to you. Although your human eyes, at times misty from the past, have difficulty accepting. Understand, dear soul, that hesitation is the only barrier that remains. On the other side, there is an extended hand and an open heart, waiting only for you to trust enough to take the next step. There are no hidden games or doubtful intentions in this specific link that the heavens illuminate now. The naked and raw truth is that the feeling nourished by this person is clear as spring water. They see in you a safe harbor, a home where they wish to anchor their dreams and hopes. The indecision you carry is the last veil that needs to fall so that the light of full understanding floods your life. The angels remove now the blindfold from your spiritual eyes. They blow away the ashes of previous disappointments so that you can see the living ember of true love that burns in front of you. Do not permit the fear of what if to steal the joy of now. Your intuition, when cleansed of traumas, knows how to recognize the truth. And the truth is that you are safe to feel, to live, and to reciprocate this affection that already chose you long before you realized. Take a deep breath and feel the lightness of one who knows she is being guided to a destiny of plenitude and reciprocity. With every beat of your heart, allow confidence to replace suspicion. The universe conspires in favor of meetings that elevate the spirit, and this is one of them. You are still analyzing, pondering, and calculating risks, but the invitation from the angels is for you to begin to feel and to experience. The clarity you asked for so much in your prayers is being delivered now, in this revelation that the intentions of others are noble and turn towards the greater good of both. There is nothing to fear when the light of truth makes itself present, dissipating all the shadows of uncertainty. Accept this message as a balm that heals mistrust. You are precious in the eyes of the Creator and would never be guided to an abyss. The path ahead of you is firm. This person has already decided, in their soul, that you are the destiny partner. It remains for you, dear soul, to align your will with this loving reality that presents itself, allowing yourself to be happy without the shackles of the past, surrendering to the beauty of a new time where love is synonymous with peace and certainty. Dear soul, receive now this truth in the center of your chest with total serenity and trust. Everything that was said here is not the work of chance, but rather a confirmation from the heavens for the exact moment you are traversing. That special person already feels, deep in their being, that they belong to you. But the angels indicate that you still carry some locks of fear that prevent this union from blossoming fully. It is necessary to release the shackles of old disappointments and believe that loyal and pure love is your destiny. Do not allow doubt to cast shadows over the brilliance that the Creator deposited in your essence. Understand, dear soul, that heaven's timing is perfect and never fails. The entire universe is moving to align the paths and remove the stones that previously caused stumbles. Your effective happiness is a sacred promise, and celestial protection is ensuring that no one interferes in this union that is already written in the stars. Feel yourself deserving of all the affection and dedication that are arriving to stay. You are precious in the eyes of the Father and looked after in every detail by your spiritual guardians. To seal this prophecy and give permission for the angels to act in your love life, I invite you to perform an act of faith now. Write here in the comments the phrase "True love finds me now" and type in full the number 777. By doing this, you make a commitment to spirituality and open the doors to receive the blessings that are reserved for your future. Do not fail to like this message and subscribe to the channel, for this way you keep your connection open for the next guidelines we will send. May the golden light of prosperity and the pink flame of unconditional love envelop your home and your life in this instant. May the Lord bless your steps, bringing clarity to your decisions and peace to your pillow. Know that victory in love is certain, and that loneliness has no more power over your story. Go forward with the certainty that you are guided and protected in every instant. Stay in holy peace, and until our next meeting,